Hello, hello. My name is Pam Ross. I am the president and lead trainer of Kingdom Leadership Development, where our endeavor is to simply give the world better leaders. I'm also the culturalist, the director of culture and engagement for the All Nations Collective. We are a group of progressive churches, generally across urban America, about 50 churches so far, and I'm honored to help align those churches with culture and engagement. But today I get to be a contributor for the Vault. How cool is that? I'm so honored to be asked to do this, and we're going to dive right in. I want to talk to you today about Get Ready to Fly. I decided, you guys are like, this is the first time I get to actually teach from this particular material that I've written. I have a new book coming out January of 2021, and the book is entitled Get Ready to Fly. So when I had this opportunity to just have a talk, have a vault talk, I thought, why not test drive this Get Ready to Fly on you guys. This book actually was written from the transcription of a lengthy workshop that I did. At the end of the workshop, one of the people there told me, ma'am, this is a book. And so I was able to just get notes and start working it out. And I'm so excited with what God has done for it. Let me tell you about what we call the success cycle that is in Get Ready to Fly. We've all heard about, we've heard more than enough tragic stories of what we call death by success. Athletes who work so hard in the gym or on the field or on the track, working day and night, every day, 7 days a week. We've heard about athletes who work so hard and finally get their big break and they finally go pro, only to lose it all. And I mean all their life to drug addiction. We've heard about famous actors or musicians who work so incredibly hard to define and refine their craft, and they finally make it to the top, and they're at the top of their game. And then we weep over the news that maybe one of those famous stars that we love so much has committed suicide, and they've escaped the pressures of fandom or the pressures of stardom because they're exhausted. We've heard about married couples that they hang in there when things are tight, and they hang in there when they're in the grind, right? And then suddenly, somehow, when things seem to kind of even out and they make it, you've made it, the house is paid off and the kids are out of school, and suddenly things seem to fall apart for people. Probably the most heartbreaking for me as a leadership trainer is when we hear about politicians who start off with their heart ready to serve people. Their heart is full of public service, and then they reach the highest levels in the land, and well, they leave in scandal. They embarrass their family, their friends, even their country. See, not everyone is successful at being successful. I've heard it said that success is not the hard part. Being successful at success, that's the hard part. And that's why I wrote the book, Get Ready to Fly. That's what I want to talk to you about, because if you're watching these vault talks, surely you're someone who's looking for wisdom, you're looking for clues, you're looking for leverage, you're looking for opportunity, connections. What can I learn? How can I grow? How can I develop myself so that I can become my best self, so that I can succeed? I can get that dream, make that dream come to pass. We know the Bible says a dream comes to pass with much business and painful effort. But the last thing you want to do is put in all that business, all that painful effort, only to have it ruin you. You want to build your dream, not your jail, which is why I want to walk you through these 7 steps. Are you ready? The first one is freedom. We call it check your baggage. Yeah. It's about making sure that the things inside of you are not what I call that powder keg. I have this powder keg theory, and basically what it means is you've got some gunpowder in you. You've got something in you that's very flammable, very dangerous, and if you give it the right amount of heat and if you give it the right amount of pressure, it could explode. But what happens is when you're on the ground, that powder keg, you just kind of manage it. You just kind of deal with it. And what happens is the enemy waits until you are high enough and big enough and famous enough and you can get enough attention, and then simply lights that powder keg. He lights that thing that you never dealt with, that temper that you never dealt with, that resentment that you never dealt with, even that maybe that tendency to always feel rejected. And so you always got to prove something. Maybe that thing, maybe that jealousy that you didn't deal with when you were on the ground. Now that you're in the air, boom. Yeah. So the first step is freedom. It's called check your baggage. It's about, hey, if I'm preparing my soul to soar, because that's what really Get Ready to Fly is all about. Not just succeeding. Remember, this is about how to be successful at being successful. And the first step is freedom. What are the things that could weigh me down? And not just weigh me down, what are the things that could cause me, the real me, the me that not everybody else knows? What are the things that could cause that me to explode in the air and damage not just me, but everyone along for the ride? So the first step for getting freedom, for being successful and getting ready to fly is freedom. The second step is my favorite, and it is identity. I call it take the right seat. Once you get your bags checked and once you're on board, you're on your way, I want you to take the right seat. And we deal a lot with imposter syndrome. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. And I often believe that the dream that God has of you and for you, because you do know God has a dream for you, right? Not just, He doesn't just make your dreams come true. You make His dream come true. He doesn't just make your dream come true. You are responsible for making God's dream come true. And you do that when you decide to become the real, authentic you. When you decide to fully embrace, to take the right seat, sit in yourself, sit in your chair, be comfortable in your own skin. When you decide to do that, that's when you begin to make God's dream come true. And so one of the things you've got to deal with is understanding and accepting who you really are. Get rid of the imposter syndrome. Let me tell you, I don't even know if you can fully get rid of it, but I know that you can acknowledge it and you can deal with it and you can push past it. Imposter syndrome happens because many times the dream that God has for us is so big that when we sit in it, we feel really small. Like you feel like you're a little person sitting in a big chair or sitting in a big dream. But what happens is you take that seat in that dream and you know that you've done what it takes. I've done my work. I've done my freedom check. I've checked my bags, right? And I'm ready to contribute. This is what I want you to remember. You have nothing to prove and everything to give. You have nothing to prove and everything to give. So when you find yourself feeling like everybody in here is smarter than me, everybody in here knows more, everybody in here deserves to be here but me, I want you, we're just talking, right, me and you, I want you to remember I have everything to give and nothing to prove. So the first step is freedom. The second step is identity. The third step is commitment. 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 Check your baggage. Take the right seat. Commitment is about fastening your seatbelt. In this book, we talk a lot about what it takes to be committed, what it takes to stick with the process. Because if you're going to have success and if you're going to be successful at success, you got to get some quit out of you. Yeah. And there's more than one quit in you. I can't tell you how many times I've quit, how many times I've said, I'm done with this. Get me out of here. And then I realize this isn't just what I do. This is who I am. So whatever your dream is, remember that dream is being birthed out of your identity because you're in the right seat. And what the seatbelt is designed to do is stabilize you in your identity during turbulence. During the times when life is like this, that seatbelt keeps you being you. Because the purpose of turbulence is to morph you into something else. The purpose of hard times and difficulty is to cause you to become something that you were never meant to be. But if you stay committed, you'll remain yourself. You'll grow, you'll develop, you'll become yourself. Yeah. Check your baggage, take the right seat, put on your seatbelt and stay committed. What's the fourth one? The fourth one is about your appetites. Yes, I know. It's about your appetites. Listen, I call it tray tables up. Put that tray table up. What that really is about, you know, when a plane is about to take off, what do they tell you? Tray tables up. If your life is about to elevate, then you're going to have to put your tray table up. You're going to have to learn to control your appetites. What is it that you crave in times of pressure? What is it that you crave when you're feeling discouraged or down? Or, you know, and here's the deal. The thing about success is that success gives you choices. And when you choose, are you choosing the things that are wholesome and healthy? I'm not just talking about food. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about how you spend your time, how you invest or spend your money, invest or spend your time, who you choose to be around, how you choose to spend your day. Because what will happen is if you don't control your appetites, when you don't have a choice, as many choices, when freedom comes and you have lots of choices, you could find yourself overindulging in some things. Yeah. The first step is freedom. Check your baggage. The second step is, of course, identity. Take the right seat. The third step is commitment. Be committed even in the midst of turbulence. And the fourth step is let's get a grip on our appetite. Let's get a grip on the things that we desire while we have choices. The next one is, of course, communication. Silence your communication devices. Isn't that what they tell you? You got to put that thing on airplane mode when you're getting ready to elevate, when you're getting ready to fly. You got to silence that thing, turn it down. What does that mean in terms of you growing, getting ready to fly, preparing your soul to soar? Basically, what it means is when you are working on being a success, you got to know when to speak. And you got to know when to not speak. You got to know when to listen. And you got to know when to just smile and nod. Whose advice are you going to take? Whose advice are you going to simply pass on? Honorably, of course, but pass on. We tell a lot of stories in this chapter about people who choose to take advice and some that don't. And knowing whose advice to take. How to identify your mentors. How to know who sent to get you from one level to the next, who speaks the language of the place you're going, not just the language of the place you're from. Success requires you to speak a different language. Success is going to require you to speak the language of the place you're going, the place of your industry, the place of your destiny. So when we talk about silence your communication devices, really what we're saying is you may have to talk less, work more. You may have to listen more. You may have to learn how to give advice, how to take advice, how to network a little bit more. Those things are all absolutely necessary. The first step, remember, freedom, check your baggage. Second step, identity. Sit in the right seat, own who you really are. The third step is commitment. Get that seatbelt on because turbulence will happen, right? Control your appetites. Know how to make a decision. This is me. This is not me. This is me. Nope, that's not me. And then communication. And the last and final step is about your responses. You know what they tell us on a plane? If in the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask falls down, put it over your face, and just breathe. Just breathe. Keep breathing. This last step is about how you respond to the unexpected. You can follow all of my advice. Hey, get free, get identity, be committed, control your appetites, know how to make a real choice, know when to communicate, get around the right friends. But that's, you still can't predict everything that's going to happen in your life on your way to success. Who's going to fail, who's going to win, who's going to leave you, who's going to stay with you. You still can't predict all of those things. And so the last one is about measuring your responses. You know, life is not predictable, but how you deal with life, you can prepare for that. You can't always prepare for everything that's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen, but you can prepare yourself, your character, your fruitfulness. When you fail, give yourself some grace, because there's no such thing about true success without real failure. There's no such thing. Did you know that Warren Buffett, one of America's billionaires, billion with a B, tremendous investor, will only invest in a company if the CEO has had at least 2 colossal failures? Yeah. Because he realizes there's some wisdom, there's some tenacity, there's some guts. Doggone it. Come on. There's some there's some chutzpah that you only get after you have fallen, after you failed, after something just goes belly up, after you tried it and it didn't work and you said, you know what, keep breathing, try again, test my responses. When things don't go exactly right, learn how to pace myself, get back up again, keep trying. So that's my little talk for you. I just wanted to give you my success cycle. It's worked for me. It's worked for countless others. I believe that it'll work for you. Thank you so much for an opportunity to just talk, help you get ready to fly, prepare your soul to soar.